Welcome back, everyone! Today we're heading into another exciting Roblox adventure, and this time we're taking on the unpredictable world of roll in a cart. It might look like a simple ride at first, but don't let that fool you. Every track is packed with surprises, sudden changes, and fast-paced moments that can completely change the run in just a few seconds. The goal sounds easy: stay on the rails and reach the end, but getting there is a completely different story. The ride begins with a smooth start, giving us a chance to build momentum and get used to the course ahead. These first moments are always important because they let us understand the speed of the cart while preparing for the challenges waiting farther down the track. Everything feels under control right now, but experienced players know that the game never stays easy for long. The calm beginning is only setting the stage for the crazier sections that are still ahead. As we continue rolling forward, the track starts changing little by little. New turns, different scenery, and unexpected sections make every part of the ride feel fresh. That's one of my favorite things about roll in a cart. It never feels repetitive because you're constantly moving into a new area with something different to look at. Every checkpoint feels like another step deeper into the adventure. The cart is beginning to pick up speed now, and that changes everything. At lower speeds it's easy to stay relaxed, but once the momentum builds, every turn demands more attention. Even a small mistake can send the cart flying off the rails, ending the run instantly. Staying focused becomes just as important as reacting quickly because the track gives you very little time to recover once things start going wrong. One thing I really like about this game is that every successful section builds confidence for the next one. You begin to understand the rhythm of the track, and suddenly obstacles that looked difficult only a minute ago become much easier to handle. Instead of rushing every decision, it's often smarter to stay calm, trust your timing, and let the cart flow naturally through each section of the course. The adventure keeps becoming more exciting as we move farther along. Every new stretch of track introduces another surprise, encouraging us to stay alert while enjoying the ride at the same time. The changing environment, increasing speed, and constant feeling of uncertainty make every run different from the last one. That's exactly why it's so easy to jump back in for another attempt. So far everything is going exactly the way we hoped. The cart is staying on course, we're building more confidence with every section, and the journey is becoming even more exciting than it looked at the start. But we're still only getting warmed up. The biggest challenges haven't appeared yet, and the most intense part of today's ride is waiting just ahead. Let's keep the momentum going, stay locked in, and see if we have what it takes to reach the finish without crashing. The adventure is becoming much more exciting now, and the track is starting to show its true personality. The easy opening is behind us, and every new section feels faster, more unpredictable, and much more rewarding to complete. This is where the game really begins to test your reactions because staying on the rails is no longer something you can take for granted. Every turn demands your full attention, and every successful section brings you one step closer to an incredible finish. As the cart continues gaining speed, even familiar parts of the track begin to feel completely different. Small bumps, sharp corners, and quick changes in direction suddenly become much more challenging than they looked at the beginning of the ride. That's what makes roll in a cart so enjoyable. The game doesn't need complicated controls to create excitement. The increasing speed alone is enough to keep every moment interesting. The environment keeps changing as we move forward, making the journey feel like a real adventure instead of a simple race. Every new area has its own atmosphere, encouraging us to stay focused while also enjoying everything happening around us. You never know exactly what the next part of the course is going to look like, and that sense of discovery keeps every run feeling fresh. At this stage it's important not to panic. The faster the cart moves, the more tempting it becomes to overreact, but that usually leads to mistakes. Staying calm and reading the track carefully is often the best strategy. Smooth movements and good timing are much more effective than trying to force risky decisions at the last possible second. The pace continues increasing, and now every successful section feels even more satisfying. Passing another difficult part without crashing builds confidence for the next challenge waiting ahead. That's one of the reasons this game becomes so addictive. Every obstacle you overcome makes you want to see what's coming next, and every new section feels like another achievement. One thing I really appreciate is how the game constantly keeps you engaged. There's never a long moment where nothing happens. The track is always changing, the kart is always moving, and the excitement keeps building naturally without feeling forced. It creates the perfect balance between relaxing gameplay and moments where your heart starts racing because one mistake could end everything. We're now reaching the point where the ride becomes truly memorable. The speed is higher, the challenges are becoming tougher, and the entire course feels much more alive than it did only a few minutes ago. Every successful turn proves that we're adapting to the increasing difficulty and learning the rhythm of the track. So far, the run is going exactly the way we wanted. We've handled every challenge that's appeared, the kart is still moving smoothly, and the adventure is only becoming more exciting with every passing moment. But there's still a long way to go, and the biggest surprises are almost certainly waiting just ahead. Let's stay focused, keep the momentum alive, and see if this incredible run can continue all the way to the finish. The journey is entering its most exciting stage now, and it's clear that the track isn't planning to make things any easier. Every new section introduces another challenge, the kart keeps moving faster, and the room for mistakes becomes smaller with every passing moment. This is exactly where roll in a kart becomes so much fun because every successful stretch of the track feels like a real accomplishment instead of something that happens automatically. At this speed, staying focused is more important than ever. 1 second you're flying smoothly through the course, and the next you're facing another sharp turn or an unexpected obstacle that demands a quick reaction. The game constantly keeps you thinking ahead instead of simply enjoying the ride. Every decision has to be made at the right moment because hesitation can be just as dangerous as rushing into the next section too quickly. The track continues changing as we push forward, making every part of the adventure feel different from the last. That's one of the biggest strengths of this game. It never feels repetitive because there's always another twist, another downhill section, or another exciting moment waiting just around the corner. You stay curious about what's coming next, and that keeps the entire experience entertaining from beginning to end. With the kart moving this quickly, confidence becomes just as important as skill. If you start doubting every movement, it's much easier to lose control. Staying calm, trusting your timing, and reacting naturally usually produces much better results than trying to correct every tiny movement. Sometimes the smoothest runs come from letting the kart flow naturally through the course while making only the adjustments that are truly necessary. The excitement keeps building with every successful section we complete. Every obstacle left behind feels like another victory, and every checkpoint reminds us that we're getting closer to the finish. Even when the course becomes more difficult, there's always that motivation to keep going because you want to discover what the next part of the ride has prepared. One thing I really enjoy about roll in a kart is that every run tells its own story. Some rides are smooth from beginning to end, while others become a fight just to stay on the rails. That's what makes every attempt feel fresh. Even if you've played before, the excitement never completely disappears because every ride develops a little differently. Now we're deep into the adventure, and the pace is faster than ever. The kart continues racing forward, the obstacles keep appearing, and the pressure never really goes away. But that's exactly what makes finally overcoming another difficult section feel so satisfying. Every second we stay on the track is another step closer to an incredible finish. The hardest part of the journey is getting closer, but so far everything is still under control. We've survived every challenge the course has thrown at us, and the kart is still charging forward without slowing down. Now it's time to stay focused, keep the momentum alive, and see if we can finish this amazing roll in a kart adventure without losing control at the final moment. The final stretch is right in front of us now, and after everything we've been through, this is where the entire adventure comes together. The kart is moving faster than ever, the track refuses to slow down, and every new section demands complete focus. One mistake could still end the run, so there's no time to relax just because the finish is getting closer. These last moments always create the biggest excitement because you know the goal is within reach, but you still have to earn it. Looking back at the journey, it's amazing how much the pace has changed. We started with a calm ride that gave us time to understand the track, but little by little the speed increased, the obstacles became more challenging, and every successful section required more confidence than the last. That's exactly why roll in a kart keeps players coming back. Every run feels like its own adventure with unexpected moments that make each attempt unique. The course continues throwing surprises at us until the very end. Sharp turns appear when you least expect them, the speed keeps testing your reactions, and every second feels important. It's impossible to lose concentration now because the game never stops asking for one more perfect move. That's one of the best things about this experience. It stays exciting from the first minute all the way to the finish instead of becoming predictable. At this stage, confidence matters just as much as skill. We've already learned the rhythm of the ride, we've adapted to the increasing speed, and now it's all about trusting our instincts. Instead of making sudden movements, we're letting the cart flow naturally through the course while staying ready for whatever appears next. Sometimes the smoothest finish comes from staying calm instead of trying to force the perfect run. Every successful section now feels like another victory. The finish line is getting closer, but the challenge isn't over until the ride is completely finished. That's what makes these final moments so satisfying. After overcoming every difficult part of the course, every meter we travel feels like another reward for staying focused throughout the adventure. And finally, we've made it. From the slow beginning to the fastest and most intense sections of the track, this ride never stopped getting more exciting. We managed to stay on course, overcome every challenge, and reach the end without giving up. That's exactly why Roll in a Cart is such a fun Roblox experience. It combines simple gameplay with non-stop excitement, making every successful run feel like a real achievement. If you enjoyed today's adventure, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe for more awesome Roblox gameplay, and tell me in the comments which Roblox game you'd like to see next. Thanks for riding along with me, and I'll see you in the next video for another crazy adventure.